Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 46 New members arrive. Newcomers, this is a chat group that connects all the worlds. When you join the group, you will receive a message in your mind. You can check it now. Just think about exiting the chat group. If you want to come in again, the method is the same. Tony looked at the few people and felt that he still had to explain that everyone did not check the information before entering the group. The newcomers heard this and quickly exited the chat group and recalled the information in their minds. Pluto, I already know it. I didn't expect that there are other worlds besides the 7 parallel universes. Everyone didn't expect that this person didn't question it, and his name was such a domineering name, Pluto. I looked at the level again. Wow, a 6th level boss. In fact, the real strong ones accept this kind of thing the fastest. Because they are strong in their own world, they don't believe that someone can talk to him in his mind without him noticing. Zhang Sanfen, is this the place of immortals? Although I have never seen real immortals, I think it is just like this. Bibi Dong, besides Toloyo continent, there are other worlds besides the God realm. At this time, Bibi Dong seemed to be the little girl, not the queen who later ruled the spirit hall. Except for Hades who was at the 6th level, the other two were not so powerful. Bibi Dong and Zhang Sanfen were both at the peak of the 2nd level, and Bibi Dong had not yet become a titled Toloyo, so she was not even at the 3rd level. Zhang Sanfen? I seem to have heard of this name somewhere. Tony looked at Zhang Sanfen, thinking about a famous Chinese novel he had read, and had a guess in his mind. Ding, Group Manager Tony Stark uploaded the Legend of the Condor Heroes, and the Destiny space has been generated, and the group points are awarded 1,000 points. Is this the destiny of the old Taoist? Then I'll go and take a look. Thank you, friend. Zhang Sanfen saw his Destiny space appear, thanked Tony, and quickly entered his Destiny space. It seems that you don't know the others, so I'll do it. Shichen looked at everyone and found that except Tony, no one else knew the origins of the other two, so he spoke. Ding, Group Leader Shichen uploaded Toloyo Continent and Super Beast Armor, all, and the Destiny space has been generated, and the group points are awarded 2,000 points. Thank you, Group Leader. Let's take a look at our respective destinies. Bibi Dong and Hades thanked him and quickly entered their respective Destiny spaces. Soon, several people appeared in the chat group. It turns out that these things happened to my apprentice. The old Taoist must find a way to solve this tragedy. Zhang Sanfen saw the experiences of his apprentices and felt a little sad. Kim Sunji. Please, seniors, can you help me? Bibi Dong had not experienced that incident at this time, so she saw what her teacher Kim Sunji did, and couldn't help asking for help from everyone. It's okay. You can show us your Destiny space and our Destiny space at the same time. Then we can understand the situation and help you later. Conan saw that the young lady's tone was a little wrong, and hurriedly comforted her. Don't worry, although this is the first time we meet, since we can meet here, I will recognize your strength for the time being and send the army of the underworld to help you solve all the troubles. Hades also finished looking at his own Destiny space. Except that he didn't expect that they were almost overturned by the Ghost King in the end. He didn't care about anything else, and he also knew the current situation of his daughter. Hades is a person who extremely advocates the respect of the strong. He has a strong sense of class and a natural leadership, but he is not a bad person, just a different concept. Moreover, he really loves his daughter Tianyu. For Tianyu, he can release Suiyuang and others from the Xianming black hole. After several people finished looking at their own Destiny space, they looked at the Destiny space of others and opened the permissions of their own Destiny space. After everyone finished looking at the Destiny space, they were all thinking about their own things. Sister Bibi Dong is so pitiful. Let's find a way to help her. Xiao is also a girl, and she hates Bibi Dong's experience. That's right, let me help Bibi Dong. I will smash Kim Sunji into pieces. Rem was also very angry when she saw this. This was the 3rd female member in the group besides them, so she was very concerned about her. At this time, Rem's body had already turned into a ghost because of her anger, which made Rem on the side very confused. Rem, what's wrong with you? Rem didn't understand it at all. Rem has become so strange recently, and she disappeared for a whole day yesterday. Oh, I'm fine, sister. Rem was shocked when she saw this, and quickly exited the chat group, waving her hand to her sister Rem and said, Rem's matter was just a small episode, and everyone was still discussing about Bibi Dong. The real strong will not treat others in this way. If Kim Sunji was my subordinate, I would solve it directly, otherwise I would lose the face of my underworld. Hades also spoke. Let's listen to the group leader. Maybe there will be some good ideas. We can't just kill them directly. Conan looked at everyone, thought about it and pushed Shichen out. Everyone was stunned when they heard this, so they decided to listen to the leader's speech. Your world is too distorted. Humans rely on hunting soul beasts to improve their strength. This is tantamount to killing the goose that lays the golden eggs. This is how the tragedy of Tang San's mother and Xiaowu's mother happened. I will pass on a new type of cultivation method to Bibi Dong, so that she can take revenge with her own hands. Shichen saw everyone looking at him and couldn't help but speak. Thank you, group leader. Bibi Dong will seriously carry out the group leader's orders. Seeing this, Bibi Dong hurriedly thanked Shichen. No need to do this. I will leave a clone behind. I wish you complete the unification of Toloyo continent. Shichen shook his head and said. As he said that, Shichen directly passed on a set of cultivation techniques to Bibi Dong. This technique is different from your Toloyo world, which needs to absorb soul rings to continue. It actually cultivates the human body itself. From the beginning of the Will Sea realm, you open up the Bitter Sea, cultivate the Life Spring, build the Divine Bridge, reach the other shore, etc., until you cultivate to become a great emperor. I will give you the techniques for the next realm later. You are still too far away from this realm, and in terms of the Toloyo world, it is not enough to support you to become a great emperor. At most, you can only reach the Great Power realm. I checked the physique of the people in your world, and it is quite suitable for practicing this system. Not only that, soul beasts can also practice. When the time comes, soul beasts can also practice. You have to treat them equally. In addition, if you practice the system, you need to slowly transform the previous Doloyo techniques into new ones, which will take a long time. So next, I will directly help you transform the Doloyo system in your body into a brand new practice system. Thank you, group leader. I will practice seriously, and then I will spread this technique throughout the Doloyo continent. Bibi Dong looked at Shichen gratefully as if she had found a treasure. By the way, group leader, what is the name of this cultivation system? Bibi Dong suddenly remembered that she didn't know the name of this cultivation system, so she asked Shichen hurriedly. The method only described how to practice and the specific realm division, but did not mention any cultivation system. Well, just call it the heaven covering method. Shichen was silent for a while, thought about it and said, the heaven covering method, okay, I know. Bibi Dong nodded when she heard it, thinking that the name was so domineering, covering the sky with one hand. Then Shichen directly found Bibi Dong in the spirit hall through the heavens and the worlds, and directly helped her change the cultivation system, and her strength was roughly equivalent to her current strength. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 47 Revenge for King Sunji. Bibi Dong, you can start a live broadcast when the time comes, so we can see your world. Conan said when he saw Bibi Dong. Okay, but if I cultivate to the point where I can kill King Sunji, I don't know how long it will take. I asked the group leader to help me kill King Sunji. Bibi Dong is now 17 or 18 years old. She has read the original work and knows that she will fall in love with the master in the future. After King Sunji knows about it, he will defile her and want her to stay in the spirit hall forever. After Bibi Dong completes her cultivation, it may be too late, so she directly asks Shichen to help her. Bibi Dong and the master have known each other for a long time, but they have not yet developed into lovers, but there is some trend. Now that she is familiar with the original work, she has let go of her slight affection for the master, and she is destined to be from a different world with him in the future. I'll send my clone over there. If you want to completely subvert the cultivation system of the entire Doloyo continent, there will definitely be countless soul masters who will come forward to stop you. The new cultivation system can benefit ordinary civilians and will definitely divide the interests of the upper level soul masters, so they will definitely take action. Shichen thought further. After all, it is not so easy to subvert a cultivation system, and there will definitely be many obstacles. However, in the face of real strength, all conspiracies and tricks are nothing. Thank you, group leader. I will start the live broadcast now. Bibi Dong said happily after hearing this. Ding, group member Bibi Dong starts the live broadcast. All group members can enter and watch. In an instant, everyone rushed into the live broadcast room and saw a beautiful woman. Today, Bibi Dong is the saint of the spirit hall. She has a noble status in the spirit hall. Although she is not the future pope, she also has great power. Wow, sister Bibi Dong is so beautiful. After Xiao came in, she saw Bibi Dong sitting cross-legged in the room and couldn't help but exclaimed. Xiao has always appeared as a tomboy, so she was amazed to see Bibi Dong's ladle-like image. She could never do it herself. In that case, I'll go over there. Shichen looked at it, and then he also split a spiritual clone and came directly to Bibi Dong's room in the Doloyo world. Master. Seeing Shichen appear, Bibi Dong hurriedly stood up and saluted. It doesn't matter. After solving King Sunji, we will go directly to the Xingda Great Forest and start preaching with soul beasts. Shichen looked at Bibi Dong and smiled. Why should we start with soul beasts? The spirit hall is now the strongest compared to other countries. Isn't it better to start preaching here? Bibi Dong asked in confusion. No, in the entire world of soul masters today, the spirit hall has benefited the most from this, so it is impossible for them to choose a new cultivation system. If the new heaven covering method is to be spread, the spirit hall's position as the number one on the continent will definitely be shaken. Soul beasts are different. They have always been hunted by humans. If a new cultivation system appears, they can cultivate to a stronger level, and they don't have to rely on a long time to grow like before. The most important thing is that no one will come to hunt them in the future, and the so-called soul rings are useless to humans. Shichen explained the idea of the whole system to Bibi Dong, so that Bibi Dong could also sort out the current situation. After I help you solve King Sunji, let's go directly. Shichen looked at it and stretched out his hand to grab it. Shua. In an instant, a figure appeared in his hand. When Bibi Dong saw it clearly, she found that it was King Sunji. What's going on? Bibi Dong? What are you going to do? King Sunji appeared in Shichen's hand before he could react. At this time, he suddenly saw his apprentice Bibi Dong, and hurriedly asked Bibi Dong. After being caught by Shichen, he tried to use his soul power several times, but found that he could not use a trace of soul power. You know, he is a top-level titled Doloyo. Even his father, Jian Daolu, who is a level 99 extreme Doloyo, could not catch him so easily. So when facing Shichen, he instantly felt fear. Master, this is the last time I call you master. Bibi Dong looked at her former master, but she had a greater hatred in her heart. The other party, as her master, would do such a thing to her, which made her want to kill him anyway. Bibi Dong, what are you doing? Who is this person? Jian Sunji felt the unparalleled oppression, which reminded him of the legendary god. Perhaps only God could achieve this kind of strength, but it made him even more puzzled. There has been no god in Doloyo continent for 20,000 years. How could it be possible to appear directly in the Wuhan Hall and in Bibi Dong's room? Well, let you die knowingly. Looking at the terrified King Sunji, Bibi Dong said expressionlessly. If you knew that I would be with you Xiaogang in the future, you would definitely keep me in the spirit hall at all costs. I already know my future, and I already know what you will do to me in the future. So in order for me not to see you, a disgusting person, in the future, please die peacefully. King Sunji had long had improper thoughts about his apprentice, and the Uchiha gang incident was just one of the fuses. So when he heard what Bibi Dong said, he couldn't help but be shocked. Bibi Dong, you are crazy. You are just the saint of the spirit hall, and I am the pope of the spirit hall. If you kill me, my father will definitely not let you go. Ignoring King Sunji's roar and threats, Bibi Dong directly beheaded King Sunji with a knife. Considering that the other party had taught her before, she did not choose to torture him. Now Bibi Dong is not the future pope of the spirit hall, who will be second to none. Her heart is not so dark, so she can't do that kind of torture. Let's go directly to the Xingda Great Forest. In the future, I will establish the Shichen Temple here. You will be the saint of the Shichen Temple for the time being. After I leave, you will directly serve as the leader. Shichen looked at King Sunji's body, waved him back to his room, and then looked at Bibi Dong and said, Bibi Dong, everything is up to you. Bibi Dong nodded and looked at Shichen respectfully. Shichen nodded, and then took Bibi Dong directly to the Xingda Great Forest. I don't know how long it took, and an angry voice came from the spirit hall. Who on earth killed my son? I will tear you into pieces. Jian Daoliu finally found the dead Jian Sunji, and his angry voice spread throughout the headquarters of the spirit hall. Great priest, in addition to the death of the leader, the saint Bibi Dong has also disappeared. At this time, a titled Doloyo appeared and bowed slightly to Jian Daoliu respectfully. This matter is of great importance. I am afraid that the disappearance of the saint is related to the murder of the pope. Before the matter is clarified, I will temporarily serve as the pope of the spirit hall. Jian Daoliu did not doubt that Bibi Dong would kill Jian Sunji. After all, Bibi Dong was Jian Sunji's disciple, and secondly, Bibi Dong did not have that strength. Now his guess is that someone killed Jian Sunji and kidnapped the saint Bibi Dong. In addition to the pain of losing his son, it is more of a provocation to the authority of the spirit hall. In his heart, the interests of the spirit hall are above everything else, and even his own son has to stand aside. Otherwise, in the original novel, after Bibi Dong killed Jian Sunji, because Bibi Dong had the potential to achieve godhood, Jian Daoliu gave up his intention to kill Bibi Dong and instead devoted himself to assisting Bibi Dong in managing the spirit hall. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 48, Spreading the Dharma in the Star Forest. Shichen and Bibi Dong were walking in the Stardough Forest. They wanted to go directly to the center of the forest, where the overlord of the Stardough Forest lived. There are many powerful soul beasts sleeping in the Star Forest, but the only ones that often appear are Xiaowu and her mother, plus the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape. Some other 100,000-year soul beasts are basically in a state of slumber. It's so beautiful here. I really want to come here and play. Xiao couldn't help but sigh while looking at the pictures in the live broadcast room. Yeah, it's a pity that technology in our world is developing too fast, and there aren't many virgin forests like this anymore. Tony sighed when he saw this. I once passed by a planet that was completely covered with virgin forests. It looked really beautiful in the universe. Kai also came out. It was rare that he didn't go to save the world. Sir, we are almost approaching the center of the Stardough Forest. Bibi Dong saw that there were fewer and fewer soul beasts around him, and knew that the two of them were almost at the center of the Stardough Forest. The soul beasts here have their own territories, so low-level soul beasts have their own territories. No beast dare to step in at will. It doesn't matter, let's go like this. Shichen nodded, keeping his pace unchanged, and continued walking towards Star Lake, where the Azure Bull Python and Titan Giant Ape lived. The two of them soon came to a lake, which was the Star Lake at the core of the Star Forest. Roar. At this time, a huge figure ran from a distance and landed directly in front of the two of them. It was the Titan Ape. Little monkey, call your big brother. Shichen looked at the Titan Ape and ignored its roar, but asked him to call out the Azure Bull Python. Roar. The Titan Giant Ape ignored them and wanted to drive them away. Boy, stop. At this time, a deep voice came from the lake, and then a huge cow head gradually emerged from the water. Immediately afterwards, a huge soul beast with the head of a bull and the body of a python appeared on the entire lake. It was the Azure Bull Python, the great Ming in Xiaowu's mouth. Human, this is not the place you should be, get out of here. The voice of the Azure Bull Python came, making the surrounding trees rustle. Little snake, I don't like to look up at others, so please lower your head. Shichen smiled, and then stretched out his hand to grab it. A huge palm appeared in the air, and the huge body of the Azure Bull Python followed. Caught in hand. Immediately afterwards, he was transformed into a small snake as big as a palm, no, or more like an earthworm. This turn of events not only confused the Titan Ape, but also the Azure Bull Python itself. Seeing himself being caught in the opponent's hand, there was still disbelief in his eyes. Roar. The next second, the Titan Ape became angry and raised a fist the size of a small mountain to hit Shichen. Stop it, dig. The Azure Bull Python was horrified when he saw this, and quickly stopped the Titan Ape. Seeing the boss speaking, the Titan Giant Ape stopped. Who is your excellency? There has never been a person like you in the Doloyo continent. There was deep fear in the eyes of the Azure Bull Python. Did you come down from the God realm? The Azure Bull Python asked cautiously, as if afraid of irritating Shichen. Seeing this, Shichen knew that he had the effect of killing the chicken to scare the monkeys. If it hadn't been for what he did just now, I'm afraid they wouldn't have taken him seriously. The leader of the group is so awesome. He can scare them with just one move. Conan watched with great joy in the live broadcast room. These little animals are quite good, but it's a pity that the world level is too low, otherwise they can grow well. Pluto also stood up, looking at the Azure Bull Python and Titan Giant Ape in the live broadcast room and commented. The scene returned to the time side again, looking at the frightened Azure Bull Python, not intending to scare it anymore. Don't worry, I'm not here to arrest you, nor am I from the God realm, but from outside the world. Outside the world. The Azure Bull Python was stunned when he heard this, as if he didn't understand. I'm here to teach you a brand new training system that can be practiced by both humans and soul beasts. After training, the growth limit will be stronger, and humans will no longer need to hunt soul beasts to break through, and you soul beasts will it is no longer necessary to rely on the accumulation of time to become stronger. Shichen simply explained to the Azure Bull Python. What? Are you telling the truth? The Azure Bull Python was greatly shocked when he heard this. If this is true, then the situation of the soul beast in the future will be better, instead of shrinking in this forest forever. Middle. Okay, I'm going to bring the others here, and then we'll teach you new cultivation methods together. As he said that, Shichen stretched out his hand to explore, and then two figures, one large and one small, appeared, which was the already transformed figure. Xiaowu's mother, and Xiaowu who has not yet transformed. What's going on? Xiaowu's mother was playing with Xiaowu, but unexpectedly she appeared here. The Azure Bull Python's pupils shrank when it saw this, but it didn't even notice that the other party had already brought Xiaowu and her daughter. Deming, Yarming, what's wrong with you? Xiaowu's mother quickly became alert when she saw Yarming, who dared not move, and Deming, who had turned into a little snake. Senior, this is an adult from outside the world. He came here to teach us. Tianqing Naobo looked at Xiaowu's mother. She was indeed a little embarrassed by her current appearance, but she still explained the purpose of the hour. To Xiaowu's mother. Deming and Yarming call them sisters Xiaowu, so there shouldn't be anything wrong with calling their mother senior. After all, they don't even have a name. If what you said is true, then we soul beasts will definitely support you. But I want to ask you, why do you want to help us? Xiaowu's mother looked at Shichen. Her tone was quite fearful. Even before she transformed, she had never felt this way, and being able to casually turn Daming into such a small size was a method she had never seen before, so she had to be cautious. It's not like helping you. Shichen smiled, then looked at Bibi Dong who had no sense of existence on the side and said, This is a junior I just met. You should know her name. She is Bibi Dong, the contemporary saint of the Spirit Hall. After a pause, seeing the solemn eyes of several beasts, Shichen understood. With the continuous expansion of the Spirit Hall, more and more soul beasts are hunted, so their relationship with the Spirit Hall is getting worse and worse. It's still good at this time. When Xiaowu's mother is killed by Bibi Dong in the future and Xiaowu is sacrificed, then they will really feel hatred. Now Bibi Dong has left the Spirit Hall and is here to teach a new cultivation system with my mission. I am also here to help this young man, and this new system is called the Heaven Covering Method. Afterwards, Shichen taught the Heaven Covering Method to all the soul beasts, and then said, Starting tomorrow, I will temporarily stay in the Stardo Great Forest to preach. You go and notify all the soul beasts with wisdom, and all of them can come to listen. In addition, if a human soul master comes, if they don't take the initiative, you must not hurt them. Shichen gave all the soul beasts an order. He planned to spend some time, anyway, he had nothing to do, and this was just one of his clones. Yes, sir. All the soul beasts heard it and hurriedly said respectfully. Sir, can you change me back? It's not easy for me to intimidate other soul beasts in my current state. After all, most of the other soul beasts are not very intelligent. If they are in chaos at that time, it will affect you, right? Seeing that everyone was about to leave, the Sky Blue Bull Python hurriedly stopped Shichen and said embarrassedly. I would have forgotten it if you hadn't said it. It's my fault. Shichen smiled when he saw this, and then threw Daming into the Star Lake. Daming gradually changed back to his original appearance in mid-air. Thank you, sir. Daming hurriedly thanked. Shichen nodded, then found a place by the lake, waved his hand, and a simple thatched house appeared, and he sat cross-legged in it. Bibi Dong saw this, also said hello to everyone and closed the live broadcast, and also found a place to sit cross-legged and practice. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 49, In the Forest. The soul beasts saw Shichen practicing, and they also separated and went to inform the soul beasts of the entire Xingda Great Forest. There was no conversation all night. The next morning, Shichen opened his eyes on time as the sun just rose. My lord, would you like to have some breakfast? The head of the Sky Blue Bull Python floated out of the water and looked at Shichen respectfully. Okay, the last time I ate was 1,000,000 years ago, just to satisfy my appetite. Shichen thought about it and nodded, agreeing to the Sky Blue Bull Python's proposal. Although this is just a spiritual clone, it can also taste the food, otherwise its original body will never touch such ordinary food. 1,000,000 years ago? Who is this person? The Sky Blue Bull Python was shocked when he heard this, and muttered to himself, but still ordered Erming to prepare food. Soon, Erming caught a chicken that was 10,000 years old. He heard that humans like to eat chickens, so he caught one for Shichen. Not only that, he also found a lot of spiritual fruits. Sir, we have never eaten human food here, why don't we let Bibi Dong help us cook it? The Azure Bull Python looked at Shichen and asked carefully. No need to be so cautious, I don't like killing people that much, or I haven't killed as many creatures as you. Shichen smiled and said. Daming smiled, obviously not believing what Shichen said. Let me do it, since I turned into a human, I often learn the human way of life, and I can also cook some dishes. At this time, Xiaowu's mother came over and said while holding Xiaowu. After a long time, after Shichen and Bibi Dong finished eating, they began to preach. At this time, the periphery of Xingda was already crowded with soul beasts of various levels. The most central ones were naturally several overlords of more than 100,000 years, and the ones outside were more than 10,000 years, followed by thousands of years, and so on. Although the soul beasts were in turmoil because of the suppression of several 100,000-year soul beasts, they did not dare to act rashly. Shichen came to the soul beasts and began to preach. He was talking about the heaven covering method, and today he was only talking about the cultivation of the first small realm. As Shichen continued to explain, The soul beasts that were originally a little agitated stopped moving and listened to Shichen's teachings quietly. Although Shichen was not in his original form here, he was not comparable to the gods of this world, so the content of his explanation made the soul beasts fascinated. Although Shichen himself had not practiced the heaven covering method, he could directly deduce the heaven covering method. Coupled with the realm of his clone, it was more than enough to explain it to the soul beasts. At this time, in the Stardo Great Forest, two figures were moving forward at a very fast speed. Old Ghost, the saint girl can't appear in this ghost place, right? At this time, a man with a somewhat feminine appearance looked at the person next to him and said, Old Chrysanthemum, you ask me how I know, we just come here to take a look as ordered, I don't want to provoke those people in the Stardo Great Forest. Another man who looked a little gloomy responded. The two men were the two elders of the spirit hall who came to look for Bibi Dong, the two famous titled Duluo, Yuan, and Guime. Both of them were titled Duluo and possessed the martial soul fusion technique, so they often acted together. It's so unlucky, why were we assigned to this Singda Great Forest? If we run into that gorilla, it won't be so easy to retreat. Yuan also complained after hearing this. There's no way. Except for the people who stayed at the headquarters, the elder sent everyone out. We are titled Duluo and have the martial soul fusion technique, so we can only come to this Singda Great Forest, which is the safest. Guime could only comfort herself after hearing this. Strange, why are there so few soul beasts today? Along the way, we have almost never seen soul beasts over 1,000 years old, except for some 10-year and 100-year soul beasts we met at the beginning, and this is already the central area of the Singda Great Forest close to the core. As the two walked along, Yuan looked at the rather quiet forest around him and gradually felt something was wrong. When Guime heard this, he hadn't noticed it just now, but now he also realized that something was wrong here. The two looked at each other and stopped at the same time. Old Ghost, what do you think? Yuan looked at the ghost beside him, wanting to ask his companion's opinion. We haven't encountered any danger yet, so we can only continue to check forward, otherwise we can't explain to the elder, but we must be careful later. Guime thought about it and expressed his opinion. Okay, then we will continue to move forward. With our strength, unless several overlords in the depths of the forest appear at the same time, they will not be able to stop us, but we must pay attention to restraining our breath. Yuan thought about it and felt that it made sense, and he was quite confident in his strength, so he agreed to continue moving forward. Guime nodded, and then the two continued to move forward to the depths of the Singda Great Forest. I really don't know where the senior came from. This kind of cultivation system is simply unheard of, but it is extremely powerful. If I had this heaven covering method from the beginning, then after practicing to this day, I am afraid that even the people in the god realm would not be afraid of me. Daming looked at Shichen who was preaching and said to Xiao's mother who was sitting cross-legged on his head. Xiao's mother was originally holding Xiao and quietly listening to Shichen's preaching. When she heard Daming's voice, she slowly opened her eyes. No matter why he did this, or where he came from, as long as it is beneficial to our soul beasts, it's fine, and... Xiao's mother said, her eyes gradually moved down, looking at a little rabbit in her arms. It was Xiao who was silently listening to Shichen's teachings. And... Daming was stunned when he heard this, and looked at Xiao's mother in confusion. And, Xiao's personality is like mine, and she also wants to transform into a human form. If this is true, then even if she transforms in the future, she will not encounter too much danger. So that's why, it's because you told Xiao's sister too many stories about the human world, which made her want to transform. If you ask me, isn't it good for us to continue to maintain the body of the soul beast? Why do we have to transform? Daming complained a little. He and Yarming have played with Xiaowu since they were young, and the two soul beasts call Xiaowu's sister Xiaowu, so they can't bear Xiaowu to transform and venture into the human world alone. It's okay, Daming. Isn't there a new cultivation system taught by that master? When the human world practices like this in the future, no one will need soul rings and soul bones anymore. In this way, after I transform, even if I need to practice slowly, I won't be afraid of the risk of being exposed. At this time, the gentleman's voice came. It was Xiaowu who was held in his arms. Alas, you are right, Sister Xiaowu. Daming sighed lightly after hearing this, and said no more, just hoping that it will be like this in the future. At this time, two figures suddenly appeared in a place not far from Xinggu. This is... Yuigwen and Gaimei were so shocked by the overwhelming soul beasts that their eyes were about to pop out. Old ghost, am I dazzled? Yuigwen looked at Gaimei beside him, and even stuttered when he spoke. No. Not only. It's you, even I feel a little dazzled. Gaimei smiled bitterly and looked at Yuigwen helplessly. Something big must have happened here. I have a feeling that the death of the Pope and the disappearance of the Saint may be related to the changes in the Xingda Great Forest. Yuan looked at the quiet soul beast not far away and had a guess in his mind. No matter what, we have to go over and check it out. Be sure to pay attention to safety. Guimei said to Yuan. Yeah. Yuan nodded, and then the two of them rushed forward together.